Can you guys hear me? There it goes. What's going on, everybody? We are back again. This is the Moonwalkers Chat Podcast, and we are on season 2, episode 11. Yes, y'all, we made it through one full season so far. What's going on, Dove? You here with me?
I'm here, guys. How are you doing today?
Oh, man. Today is amazing. June 25th. June 25th. Oh, wow. Do you realize, though, June 25th, 11 years later, and this is the 11th episode?
Oh, wow.
What a coincidence is that? It's like this was meant to happen.
Yeah. And you were talking about the 25th anniversary of Motown as well. So 25th, 11, it's all kind of connecting.
The numbers are all connected, and I love every bit of it. It's like, wow. I'm just like, how did that happen? Like, how did we...
magic.
Yes, the power and the magic of MJ, for real, for real. Like, I don't even know how we pulled it off, but here we are. Season 2, episode 11, 11 years later, celebrating the magic behind the man that is MJ. And I mean, the magic that he actually put into the atmosphere, music-wise, philanthropy-wise, just as a human being, amazing. It's crazy. And I still can't believe that we still are here and we have to say, oh, man, it's been 11 years. Where's MJ? Where's MJ? You know? And... you know, the feeling never changes, that the love that you have for MJ just never goes away.
That's true.
But let's see who's out there. I see we have Flips, we got Mandy, we got MJ Red Pill, Sandy. I see Dodo, MD Love. What's going on, buddy? Gabby, I see Baby Mooney. Karma, what's going on? Wow, like, guys, like, what was your thoughts on this video that I just released? I mean, I seen a couple of comments that popped up saying that, oh, wow, I didn't know that, or, like, it was a lot of stuff that I didn't know either. I mean, I knew basic information about the Motown 25 show based upon the movie that came out, you know, the American Dream movie that came out back in 1992. And that's where pretty much majority of my original information that I had came from. But then when it came to making this video, it took me on a whole different journey. I didn't even know half of the artists that I even talked about were going through issues with the label Motown, and it shocked me that. But then again, it shouldn't even really shock me because it's nothing out of the ordinary that as an artist, you will go through that sort of stuff when it comes to your record label. Not every record label will do right by their artists. But man, what did you guys think of the videos? I want to see some comments. I'm gonna put some comments up on the screen.
I can't hear you anymore, Daryl.
You can't hear me?
Now I hear you better.
I'm still here. MJ is in the air today. Oh man, yes. I'm glad you guys found it very interesting. I mean, I made sure before I even got into MJ's story, I started talking about Motown first to tell us how Motown 25 came to be. And Motown 25 actually came to be because Motown at that time was starting to, you know, dwindle a little bit on the charts. They weren't doing well in sales when it came to music, even though they had artists on their label that had a good fan base and large fan base, but it wasn't the same because fans wanted more because the genre was changing in music, and Motown didn't want to follow. They wanted to just stay under that same guise of what they call the Motown sound.
Yeah.
And it's just like eventually things do need to change, and the Jacksons felt that the change needed to happen, and that's one of the reasons that pulled them away from Motown and pushed them to CBS Epic Records. Like them going to CBS Epic Records, so, you know, it was so they could actually have some peace of mind when it came to creativity, because Motown allowed them to create just a little, but they didn't give them full creativity rights. Anything that the Jacksons wrote or put out, Motown had to approve first. So even though there was some disco hits from the Jackson 5 before they left Motown, Motown did not want that genre of music. If you notice, during the disco era, you don't see it coming from Motown. You don't. Did you still here with me, Dove?
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, but what do you think about this? Like, what do you think about what you saw today?
I wasn't even aware that this night almost didn't happen because of, MJ's choice. He was like, I don't feel like doing it. I just want to be in the audience and watch the show as a guest. I didn't realize that he didn't feel like doing it because he felt like, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I want to have my, how do you say that? My spot for me alone after I perform with my brothers.
Right.
So if you think of it, if that night, like you told me, if that night wouldn't have happened for him, or that he wouldn't have performed, would he still be as big? I think he would be, though.
He would be, but this particular moment that everybody fast forwards back to, we wouldn't have it.
Yeah. No.
We wouldn't.
This is history. This is really history, and you said it in your video. It's a major part of FJ history, the Motown 25th. That's everybody knows about it.
There's not a person that knows MJ that doesn't know or recognize that night, because that's the very first night that he also performed the Moonwalker publicly.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely what catapulted him into, major stardom after that. And of course, he, being the visionary that he is, or that he was back then, he wanted more. So, he left Motown and did his thing because he wanted to write his own thing, he wanted to produce his own songs, work on his short films, and that was not possible at Motown.
I could see, like, if he actually stayed at Motown and continued his career would have been a lot different. He wouldn't have had the sound and the creativity control that he had, creative control that he had during his career. He was able to control everything musically, from production to writing, because he damn near wrote everything. Very few songs other artists have written for him, like R. Kelly, or what the heck is that other lady's name? Oh God, I can't remember her name. Saida Garrett, who sang I Just Can't Stop Loving You with him. She wrote Man in the Mirror, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So I'm like, those songs wouldn't have been the same through the sound of Motown. So I'm so glad that Joe Jackson and the Jacksons decided to actually jump ship and move on with their careers, because there's no way that MJ could have been who he is now and who he was throughout his history without actually moving ahead. And just eventually, it's like a relationship. Some relationships are good, but some of them definitely have to come to an end before a person to actually grow. And this was his growing point, and this really helped him grow to a height that he didn't even know he would reach. That's what honestly makes
it's amazing how MJ always knew what he had in him and how he saw it. He saw it much before he even, worked on a short film or on a song or whatever. He already saw what was going to happen, and that's so amazing.
It's crazy though. Like, his history is just amazing. I mean, what do you guys think about it? I want to put some comments up on the screen. He had a vision and he went for it. He definitely did. I agree with that. I mean, the vision that he had could not have happened while he was under Motown. So I'm so happy. I mean, he did have a successful solo career with a bunch of singles and things that was released under the label from the Got to Be There album. But it wouldn't have been the same if he continued. Like, Off the Wall wouldn't have sounded the way it did if he was still at Motown. Thriller, imagine that.
I can't imagine anything else because I'm used to what I know of his work, the way he did it. So I can't imagine anything else, but it definitely would be totally different. and maybe not, I don't know if I put it that way, but maybe not as popular or as loved by the fan base if it were to be, under Motown rules. It would hold him back, I think, as an artist.
I think so as well. I really do.
Yeah. Because if you notice, all the great artists that really hit it big, like, Whitney and Selena and everybody else, they started at a certain point and they were sad about it maybe at a certain point in their lives. They had to move on and go to another record label to be able to be free and create the way they wanted to create their career as an artist.
Absolutely. That's why I honestly always do agree with that. Like when you feel that you have to leave a place to spread your wings and eventually grow, you may go with it because you never know where it may take you, especially if you're an artist. You don't want to be trapped in a box when you have so much to offer musically or even as a painter or a writer, any genre of artistry.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be trapped in that box.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't keep a person or an amazing artist like MJ and so many other amazing performers because there are many.
You cut out, Dove.
There can be.
You cut out for a second, Dove.
Oh, I said, people like MJ or other huge performers can't be put in a small box. They need to, expand their wings and fly free and do whatever they want to do in order to get where they are now.
I agree with you. Yep, everything. I agree with that one. Said at Motown, everything he did was choreographed. Like he didn't play no games when it came to the choreography. Period. You can tell because as much as I love all the brothers from the group, the group is amazing itself. But you can tell that his dance style was way different than everybody else on the stage when it came to the dancing. Like he was more active while they were more on the just worrying about direct choreography. He would throw that extra elbow or that extra hand or that extra shoulder or something into it just to make it even more powerful than the way it was actually supposed to be. Like he didn't play no games when it came to that. He threw that extra into every dance step he did. Every performance, there was always something extra he added. Like the flavor is crazy that MJ brought to the stage.
Yeah, and it's everything about him, because if you research a little bit and go, about the story of like his how is this man called? Is the guy that designed his clothes? God, I forgot his name. Michael Bush.
Right.
Well, that was part of MJ as well. His outfits needed to fit his body because he felt his body was like a blank canvas and the clothes needed to accompany all of his movements in order to make it even bigger. So MJ thought of every single little detail that would make his performance or his performances amazing as they were. So it's everything about him.
Like, it's not a thing that you could name that he did throughout his career that you could actually say that I didn't agree with that. I can't say that about the songs. I can't say it about the outfits. I can't say it about the dancing because everything was always on key and on point.
Yeah.
Except for some of those stage production people who screwed him up and you had to see him singing notes, telling them, "You're fired." That was funny, though. I was cracking up watching this video where he was somebody made like a bunch of video compilations, and I don't know if you guys had seen it, and maybe you have, Doug. But there's a bunch of compilations where there's stage mistakes, where of course production messed up some things during the show,
Oh,
and
I
he would
love
be
it.
and he would
I
be
love
singing the
those.
notes like "You're fired," and while it's still going. And I was like, seriously? I was like, seriously? Like, come on. Oh my
He's
god.
funny. I saw all those, and you know, when he hits those high notes and everything, the best vocals that he has, everything about MJ is amazing.
It's
I
crazy.
can't say anything else.
Neither can I. I mean, it's just like, wow. I mean, there's no real words for, what he actually brought to us as his fans. He really brought so much to the table. And that's what keeps us around now, all of this time later, from the fans that started out with him in the 60s and 70s to on now, the newer generation. Everyone loves this man. Everybody loves MJ.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But that was actually, though,
right.
Like,
that was funny, Terry.
But Motown
But
things.
what you gonna do?
JMP, I know this has nothing to do with MJ, but what are those cool paint? Oh, those are my paintings. I actually made those. That's my artwork. That's me as an artist. I paint. This was from a painting event. Am I pointing the right direction? This is a painting event from 2016, and this is a painting event from 2018. And what they did was allow us to select the photo that we wanted to paint. And what I did was select the ones that I knew I could actually do. And I didn't think, I would do that good. Like that right there is like a wine glass. And the one over here is A Walk in the Woods by the Water. It had different names, but that's what I named it because I can't remember the exact names of what the original artist named them. But these are pretty much my replicas of other artists' stuff that they brought to us during the painting event. It was definitely something fun.
Oh, nice.
And they have painting events now all over the city. So it's definitely something that I want to go back to because I don't actually buy art supplies myself. But however, if they're given to me, give me some crayons, give me a coloring book, something. It's gonna come out good. Trust me.
I didn't know you painted.
I paint. I mean, I wish I was, a professional where I can sell, be a professional artist like Mr. Jackson.
Homie's got some skills.
Yeah, like my artistry is between editing, writing these stories and researching, and my painting. So yeah. Oh, the blue one is pretty much, turn it a little bit. The blue one is pretty much A Walk in the Woods by the Water. But of course, I didn't paint the people. I'm not good with painting small people. Like you have to be a large face or something for easy painting. But when it comes to painting tiny people, yeah, it's missing the 3 people that were standing there by the water. That's the only thing that is missing compared to the original. But yep, like my name is written in the corner, Mr. P. It's written right there. I wish I could zoom in and show you guys, but I'll do that one of these days or show you. Since I can draw stick people, if you can draw anything, that makes you an artist because that's the way we all start off. We start off with stick figures and lines. Oh man, we start off that way. So what about you, Dove? Any artistic endeavors? I know you do video editing and story writing and researching too, but like do you do any painting, drawing, anything?
No, I'm horrible at painting, but I do make, I swear to God, I can't even paint a straight house. My son is talented, though, drawing, but I do the bracelet thingies,
Oh, right. I remember you showing me your designs for that, for your bracelet line that you're working on.
Yep. So that's kind of artistic, I think.
No, that's definitely another form of art. I forgot about that because you haven't spoken to me about that in a good while. But that is definitely another artistic talent.
The post office is still closed, so I still can't send you for the ones I made the bracelets for, I still can send them to you guys. It's so sucky, but it is what it is.
It's horrible. Getting mail now is terrible. I'm still waiting on packages that I haven't got. They're like literally I ordered packages from what is it, Wish or Geek, even though they're the same company, but ordering from them, and of course it's coming from China. It's taken forever. It's been now a month and a half since I ordered my items and I haven't gotten them yet. So Wish, if you hear this, Geek, if you hear this, whichever one, I can't remember which one of the two because I use them both. But give me my packages. Give me my packages. Oh man. MJ Red Pill says I can paint like Picasso. Hey, I want to see some of those Picasso paintings. Oh man. My only talent I have is singing in the shower. LOL. I will stick to that. That's a good talent too. There you go. Practice makes perfect. Trust me, I'm the best shower singer there is. There isn't a song that I can't sing in the shower and hit all those notes and have the tiles falling off by the time I'm finished because that's how bad it is. Like, I will sit there and hit every note to every song thinking that I sound like the artist on the instrumental itself. And by the end of it, all my tiles are on the floor and I'm having to repaste them. Terrible. Terrible.
But that's funny, though. I mean, how good does it feel when you do something that you actually love? Even if it's bad singing or whatever, how good do you feel? How happy does that make you? I mean, that's great, right?
It is great. It really is. Like, I just before we got on this live, I was joking around singing the Never Can Say Goodbye, the one that I put in the video, because I love that version. It's so quick paced and fast. Never can say goodbye. No, 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 no. I never can say goodbye. The way, and then he does the hiccup. Even though the pain and heartache seems to follow me wherever I go.
Those hiccups get you, though.
Yeah. Oh. I like that fast-paced version of Never Can Say Goodbye. I was like, wow, that's even better than. I'm sorry if they did a faster version like that, like a remix, or maybe a little more up-tempo like that version that they did at Motown 25. Dope, because I downloaded that specific part just to hear that because that's how good that rendition is. Like I love the original, but the Motown 25 version is dope. Fire. Says MJ is so tiny. I wonder how he stayed so small. I don't know. And he had an appetite on. I mean, he ate healthy, but if you guys remember this photo that I shared during the live stream last year, where he's sitting there in front of a table with cakes, Doritos, bottled water, and all sorts of snacks and goodies, and I'm like, how the hell is he eating that and able to stay so fit? And he never was a person that went to the gym, but I think it might have been the dancing and him always moving because every moment was a dance moment. Like if you watch some of his then again it wasn't some of his, it was from the documentary that they did about him. I don't want to say that person's name because I'm not too fond of them, but you already know who he is, the bastard person, Martin Bastard. But in that documentary or mockumentary, because I know you guys don't like that word when it comes to that, but you see him standing around talking and then he'll just start doing gyrations or movements, and it's like he was always in constant dance mode. Like he was always in this mode where he was always just wanting to dance. I don't know what it was. And you'll see that with the at home behind the scenes footage that's been around on YouTube. I mean, he always was moving and dancing, and it's just like I think that might have been what kept him fit.
I think so too. And of course, he was very nervous always, like very excited all the time. So I guess all of that building up just, burned it right off.
And then also, dance rehearsals, 8 and 9 hour days. Dance rehearsals alone, 8 and 9 hour days of moving every muscle in your body. I think that would probably keep you fit too, because that's a job. I don't know how a lot of dancers do it and a lot of performers do it, But kudos to y'all because I don't have it in me. I'm like, oh man, like I've danced but for 8-9 hours practicing, I don't even know how they do it. I don't even know how they do it.
Yeah, and he would warm up his voice for 2 hours before he went on stage too. So MJ was serious about what he was doing. He was playing no jokes.
Ralph Lauren just said he also went full vegetarian and fasted every Sunday. Haven't missed a Sunday. That might have been it also because eating clean maybe one day out of the week, or either not eating at all. Because sometimes fasting may result in either just eating fruits and veggies only, or pretty much just drinking water. Because a lot of people that I know that fasted will just fast on water for the day or nothing at all and just clean their body out for the day. And I hate to say this, but just poop and get it out of your body. Get it out of your body.
Yeah, but that works though. I mean, it gets all the, how is it called, toxins?
What'd you say? Because it broke up for a second.
How is that called when you get rid of everything bad in your body? The toxins or toxic? What is it?
Detox.
Yeah, that was basically what he was doing.
Hey, peace out, Teresa.
Thank you, Teresa, for
joining. Thank you for joining. Oh yeah, water is definitely good for you. So make sure y'all are drinking a lot of water, especially right now that the summer has hit. This isn't a game right now because the heat is intense. You can see it all on me. I'm glistening. I should go grab my rag so I can whoop, 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 and dry. I'll be right back. Seriously. I literally pulled a rag out so I can while I'm on live because it's a little warm in here and my AC is broken, so I have to literally wait until later on in the week where I can order another one because them things are expensive. Ugh. Oh man. Said he posted a clue.
He posted a clue.
Who posted a clue?
What is it? Yeah.
I'm curious.
What is it and who did it?
Said he stopped eating meat. Janessa says he is awesome. He definitely is. He definitely is. I love this though. I mean, I'm glad that we actually were able to gather today as MJ fans and members of the MJ community, not even the hoax itself, but members of the MJ community. And we're here to, gather and just celebrate him and just talk about all the greatness that he is. What the heck was that?
That was a motorcycle that, under my window.
I say, where are you going? Because for a second I was about to say it sounded like a motor or a car. I mean, I thought the same thing too. I mean, I know that he did eat meats from time to time, but I know he wasn't an avid meat eater, as in sitting there eating it all the time, like a lot of us. Because I'll sit there and devour a steak or some chicken. Don't put it in front of me. Whew. MJ's favorite food was cheeseburgers, and it was talked about as his vegetarian. MJ's favorite. It's so small, these words, when they write paragraphs. So I have to kind of zoom in. Yeah, it was based on Katherine Jackson's book, that movie. Ooh. But I mean, what do you guys feel? I mean, it's been 11 years now. Like, what are your feelings now that it's made it to 11 years that we've went without MJ? Like, what's going on with you guys? How are you guys feeling? Oh, wow. Shanice just posted the thing that we were just talking about. It is easier to fool people than to convince them they've been fooled. We just spoke about this earlier on, Dove.
Yeah, I shared on my story.
That's all like, wow. That's right on. Quote. That's right on time to bring that up because we were just talking about that, and that also stems with the hoax too. It's easy to be fooled, and I've been warning people. I don't want you guys to be fooled by some of these imposters that are popping up on the internet. But we're not talking about the imposters right now. The imposters will be talked about later. This is all about LOVE and the love of MJ, and us fans are here to celebrate it together. But what do you
Yes.
guys think about now that we've made it to the 11th year of being without MJ physically around? Like, says, I like that picture of MJ. Like, what are your guys, like, what are your thoughts? Comment below. Let us know what you're thinking.
Ralph Lauren, do you guys think Dante Jackson, who is adopted, is MJ real son or Joe's son?
I've never actually researched that. That's actually a good question. So I'm going to keep that in mind as something else to actually look up and research. And whatever I research, of course, you know I will make a video about. So I definitely will look into that.
As far as I know, Jermaine has him adopted.
See, I didn't know that either.
But he is, yeah, he's half brother with Genevieve, you know, Randy's children.
Right.
Because they're from the same mom, so they're half brothers and sisters.
Right.
But Jermaine is the one who took him in. So I don't know whose kid it is, or I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, from what is being said, that Alejandra and Jermaine are the parents. But I mean, I don't know what speculation's been circulating around, or because I haven't researched that. But you know what? Hold on. Let me look this up. So I could actually do that while we're online.
Jermaine has nothing more to say. He made too many slip ups. I'm guessing they told him, "Shut up, Jermaine."
You noticed that, right? So whose kid is he if they adopted him and it's not theirs?
Right.
If it's not their child, whose child is? Well, I mean, it's not my place to ask that because that's their thing. But I mean, that is something to actually wonder. I mean, yeah, because when you look under Jermaine's Wikipedia, I mean, I would click on it, but it says it only mentions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his actual children. It doesn't even mention.
He has a bunch of kids.
Yeah, he has a nice amount. Jermaine likes to make babies. Apparently, go with Jermaine. He wants it, but then again, he wanted a large family. He wanted one with Hazel, if you remember, but they ended up splitting. Wow.
There have been, you know, stories floating around. I'm not going to mention names or anything, but there have been stories floating around about Dante and whose son it is and yada, yada, yada. And that's probably why MJ was paying for the child support, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, I don't really know what happened or what's what or who's who's. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And to get really into that, it's going to be hard because it's not going to be on the internet. I mean, if it's a love child, like they call it, it's not going to be on the net. So it's going to be very difficult to even figure out or research what the truth is.
That's what I'm still wondering. I mean, I was even receiving questions over the last couple of days since I posted about B. Howard visiting my Instagram story and your Instagram story and MD Love's Instagram story. It's just like, what's been going on with that? And then I started receiving questions asking, is that MJ's son again? But I have no idea. I can't honestly say anything about that because I've never researched that either. But however, he does spend frequent time with the Jacksons. I mean, he was with Jackie Jackson on Father's Day.
Yeah.
It looks like they was riding on a yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, unless he's just a close family friend. But what was you gonna say, Dove? Sorry.
Exactly. No, it's okay. I mean, if we're gonna think that every single kid that was close to MJ or the family or his kids, how many kids did MJ really make? I mean, come on. Does that mean that Omer Body is his son too? No. But that's what I'm saying. B. Howard and Dante are two things that we don't know what's what.
It leaves me stuck. Ask that question because there's no way for us to actually know unless it's directly said from either MJ or B. Howard himself. But when he was asked by TMZ, he kind of just avoided the question and just walked away.
Well, he did speak on his YouTube channel a long time ago where he personally says, I never said I'm MJ's son, I never said this, I never said that, you know.
I remember that she did. Mickey Howard. Yeah. She did used to be managed by Joe. That's true. But you never know. I mean, could be. You never know. MJ was a ladies' man, and the ladies loved MJ, and you never know with the amount of groupies that was after him if he actually gave in to any. Even though some of them aren't totally groupies because one of the people involved is a celebrity, so. Also, you got to remember, some celebrities do hook up. It could have been a hookup. You never know. Some people say he dated, but they could have probably hooked up. It happens.
It's possible.
You never know. You get that fame, and people start wanting you more and more, and you're just like, really? And then it happens, I guess. I don't know.
Well, hell, I would love to be MJ's baby mama.
There you go. MD Love says, I don't believe MJ has a secret kid. Why was he upset not having kids after he divorced Lisa Marie Presley? That is a good question. That's why I'm like, I love the dialogue and the conversation that we're actually able to have, because that's also another good question, that if any of these other people that are being said, like Omer or Omar, however you pronounce it, but or B. Howard, or there was one other person that somebody asked me, was they MJ's kid, Dante, unless he was really just out there getting down and dirty. I mean, damn, MJ, really? You never know. I mean, if he was really out there just slinging it, by all means, you the man, MJ. I ain't mad at you. That was you in your prime. That was you in your prime, and I can't honestly fault him for being a man. I mean, that was him. If he did make secret children, it's just that. I mean, what more can we actually say? Right now, I'm just speculating. Maybe B. Howard is, because he does resemble not even MJ, because I'm not going by people say, look at the hair, look at, because he's light skinned. No, he actually does resemble some of the others in the family, and not like he looks similar to Your Majesty. Like they kind of look alike a tiny bit, and you can see that they share some sort of genealogy, but we don't know who's who when it comes to Omer, Dante, or B. Howard. But there's no telling. But I mean, if that is MJ's kid, talented fellow. All of them. I mean, all of them have done music or something other. So there's talent flowing all through his children. What does that say? Hold on.
What I do have to say about, and this is not meant to be mean or anything, but that's just my point of view on B. Howard's music and his video clips and everything. He kind of emulates MJ too much. Like, you know, trying too hard to be like him. Even he took a picture pointing out that he had some vitiligo on his legs and everything, you know. So I'm like, are you really trying that hard to be connected to him so people keep you relevant or something? I don't know. I don't know what to think.
I mean, I was asked so many times over the years to, research and stuff regarding that question of, about B. Howard and MJ and stuff. And, I at the time I felt that that wasn't my place to do it or research that, because if B. Howard wants to release that information, he'll release it at his own time because he knows who his father is. He's just not sharing it with us. And I mean,
Right.
I could respect that. I mean, he's entitled to some privacy. Yeah, yeah. He's entitled to the privacy. Or as my friend used to say, privacy. Privacy. I love it. Privacy or hobby.
Don't start.
Well, he needs his privacy. Yeah, yeah.
You know the lyrics?
I know the lyrics. Ain't the pictures enough? Why do I go through so much to get the stories you need? I don't know. Probably said the words backwards. It's like a desert. It's hot. Oh man. But I'm glad that we're able to stand here together 11 years later, reunited as the Moonwalkers, as the MJ family, and gather. And I mean, guys, like if you can today, hop on social media and get him trending and let the world know that he's not going anywhere. Like even after this live stream, hop on Twitter and hashtag whatever you share, like pictures, video. Make sure you hashtag his name. Oh my goodness, hashtag that name. Make sure that we get him trending today. Like even if you haven't started, hop on it. I'm gonna get on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook after this and post. I'm not playing no games. I'm making sure that get him trending, get his image out there, and remind people that MJ, like the screen says right now, bad. He's bad, and he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
Exactly. Amen.
He ain't going nowhere.
Poetic has a question. Has it ever been said why Joe had his children call him Joseph?
He just liked that. I don't know why. Like some parents like when their kids call them by their first name. Like I know people who have parents that have their kids do that, and I've never thought, like I even tried doing that to my mom one day, and I just felt horrible doing it. So I'm like, no, that's not for me. Like I called my mother by her first name, and she looked at me sideways, and it wasn't because she looked at me sideways that I felt horrible. I just was like, wait, that's my mom. Why am I calling her by her name like she's just some regular person, or if she's my friend, or it kind of seemed odd for me. I don't know. I could never get used to calling my parent by their first name. I mean, have any of you ever done that? Do you call your mom or your dad by their first name? Do you call Billy, who's your father, Billy? Like, do you do that? I don't know why Joe wanted that. I mean, like, Dove, what do you think about that? Like,
I respect everyone's choice in how they want to be referred to, but I don't call my mom by her first name unless I'm joking. I do it, as a joke sometimes.
right.
But I would not on a daily basis call her by her first name. I always say mom or ma or mommy or whatever, but not by her first name. It's kind of weird to me, but I mean, if you were brought up that way, it's normal to you.
Right.
So, yeah. So, probably, Joe just wanted to be referred as Joseph, not by dad or daddy or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, or then again, it could be due to the time frame or I can't even say time frame, but maybe the era that Joe grew up in, that maybe that was something that they were into, and it may be carried over into his generation where for him, that's what he wanted his kids to do. Wow, that just made me laugh just thinking on the inside. Thinking about that scene in the movie, in the American Dream movie, where I think it was Tito that ran up to Miss Catherine and ran up to her, hi Katie, and she said, "Don't you call me Katie? It's mother, and don't you forget it." I was in stitches. I was like, "Go ahead, Miss Catherine." She wasn't playing no games. It's like, you call your father that, but to you, it's mother. She wasn't playing. Yeah, it's shocking. There's no direct answer to it. I mean, it just might have been his preference of choice. And I mean, it's all good. I mean, to each their own. If you want to be called by your first name by your kids, nope, you're going to call me dad. Or Faja. Faja.
Father.
Or Father. Father.
Sorry if that was weird, Dodo. I didn't mean to creep you out. She said daddy is weird.
Daddy. Daddy. That's funny though. Oh my goodness. We'll talk about that Saturday, Fahim. That one we'll talk about Saturday because I don't know why that particular situation happened, but I would have to look into that one. I only know just what happened versus why it happened, but I would have to take a candle and light it.
Didn't you already talk about that earlier, in other live streams that you did? That was part of, made up stories by the media as well?
Yeah, I had spoke about what Paris Jackson had put out. She said that there was a made up rumor from TMZ saying that she was suicidal when that wasn't the case. Ooh, I didn't want to say that word. Ugh. She was not into what Fahim had asked me in the comment section, asking about what Paris Jackson had went through during 2018, 2019, was it? But yeah, I had discussed what Paris Jackson had put out, and she had said that this is something that TMZ had put out against her, and it's not true. I would rather believe the person speaking out against the article versus the person that wrote the article, because she would know directly, being that it's her. And she said that wasn't true. But I mean, if there was a reason as to why that was put out, I would have to research that. But for now, I have no clue. Poetic says, I remember that scene exactly. It's mother, and don't you forget it. Rachel says, I emailed my mom once calling her by her name, and she said, just call me mom. She never liked being called by her first name. That was not cool with her. I know the Jacksons always call their dad Joseph. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. There was another. This one, take a candle and light it. The flame is MJ and the base is his fans. When the candle got blown out, the fan base is still here forever. Keep the flame alive. I like that, Terry. I like that. I like that. Oh, man. Facts. Like TMZ tried to blank Lil Wayne several times. Oh, man. Lil Wayne. Maybe Joe loved too much the biblical story, Joseph, and you never know. You never know. My friend Denise do that with her mama. Not me. It's dad, and don't you forget it. You can call her Teresa all you want to, but I'm dad.
I can still whoop your ass, right?
Oh, man. That's funny, though. But yeah, we thank you guys for tuning in to our first episode back, episode 11 years later, and it's June 25th, 2020. We thank you guys for rocking it out with us. Yes. So make sure you guys head to social media, and like I said, get MJ's name trending, because right about now, we need to let the world know that his fans are standing strong with him and that his name will ring bells forever. He's not going anywhere. Let it be known. So guys, flock to social media and make sure when you hop on social media and post his videos, his songs, or anything about him, hashtag his name. Say his name, as they would say. Say that name. Say it. Say it. Say his name. Say his name. But Dove, you have anything you want to say to them before we head on out?
Well, I hate to sound like I'm on repeat every single time, but I thank you guys for joining us, for the love, and for wanting to be here with us on, let's call it MJ Day. Celebrating his life with us, and of course supporting my homie's video, which was a masterpiece. Bravo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, we're officially back. So it's again a weekly thing.
Well, Damien G is just a fan, guys. Just like I am and you guys are. We're all a part of a huge fan base. There's so many fans out there that share stuff about his legacy, and thank you for that. Thank you, Damien G, Jesse Stevens. Who else shares all his stuff? Damien G, Jesse Stevens, Skeleton Jack. Yeah, all of you guys that share like MJ's content. Thank you for that. I mean, we appreciate you sharing his legacy because nobody can share MJ's legacy and make MJ's name meaningful as much as his fans can. So make sure that we continue to do that. I mean, that goes for me especially me being a content creator. I'm going to make sure that I always put out nothing but positivity and love when it comes to MJ and the Jackson family. But thank you again, guys. This is season 2 of the Moonwalkers Chat podcast, episode 11, and we thank you guys for always being here with us for our podcast. We love you guys, and we definitely will be back. We will be back. We will be back. I'll be back. That's right. That's right. But thank you guys for all that you do for me, because if you guys weren't here, I wouldn't have, anyone to create content for. So I definitely thank you guys for always rocking out and tuning in to the podcast with me and Dove, to tuning into my videos, and definitely making sure that we keep his legacy alive the way it needs to be. We need to make sure that it goes nowhere. So guys, definitely always show nothing but love for MJ, and always show nothing but love to each other, and continue to be the great people that you are. And I thank you guys again for being here with us. Much love, everybody. And we will be back.
Bye.
We will be back.
Next time.
Bye-bye. I hear you, sir. Bye-bye. We'll see you guys next time. Much love, everybody. Season 2, episode 11.